Good morning, everybody. We're here at the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania in Strasburg, PA, and we're here with our latest acquisition. This here is a 3-foot gauge, 5-ton Brookville Gas Mechanical, and this has been donated by the museum to Youngstown Steel Heritage, and we're here today to load it up and take it back to Youngstown, and we're going to convert it to 2-foot gauge and renumber it the J&L Narrow Gauge No.64, and this will become our second piece of motive power behind the 58. So well, how this came about is that the museum here is evaluating their collections, as most museums do from time to time, and determining which pieces they need to focus on, which pieces just aren't going to get any resources. This one here happened to be something that they didn't feel they were going to have the resources to take care of, so they reached out to find another nonprofit that could take care of it, and we stepped up and agreed to adopt the locomotive. So it'll work out great for us that we will have a second piece of motive power, and it worked out good for them because it gets rid of another piece out of the yard here, which is soon going to be quite crowded with the construction going on for their new roundhouse. So at any rate, we're going to load this on a trailer and haul it back to Youngstown today. Probably the first thing I'm going to do here is remove the drive chains from the axles, get it to roll freely. It's on a very short piece of 3-foot gauge track, so I'm going to extend the track back a little bit, roll the locomotive back, then I can get the trailer into position here, and hopefully it'll be real easy. We just winch it right up on the trailer. Not expecting any problems, but who knows what happens. So I'm going to get to work, and I'll have a little bit of video of the process as we go, and wish us luck. Now we know these chains are pretty rusty, because this was the drive chain between the two axles, and it is solid rust. So all the chains are being cut off, pry out, and then since they have, you know, each link is a master link, I can go through and figure out if there's some of it I can salvage or have to put new ones on. Okay, as part of the loading process, we've got to move the locomotive back a little bit so that we can get the back to trailer up in here. There's limited room at the end of the radius track. So fortunately, all 3 rails are jointed right here. So what I did is I pulled out the one standard gauge rail, moved it back there for the 3-foot, and I'm going to put a gauge rod in and pull the locomotive back onto that section. Once I get it back there, then I'll pull up the other 2 rails here, and then we can get the trailer much closer in. So getting all this taken care of before Mike gets out here with his truck, so that when he gets here we can just you know, back the trailer into place, winch it on, and go. trip back from Strasburg last night, and got back here about 11 p.m. and I came out this morning and unloaded the flat car first, then backed the trailer up and around, got as far as I could go, and then grabbed it with the forklift to maneuver it back into here. Behind the locomotive is the 58's engine house, and the 64 is going to sit right here, pretty close to the welder and to the cutting torch and all the tools, so I can get right to work on it. Once we get it down on the track here, first thing we're going to do is take the front shroud off and take a look at the engine, get the engine out of there, take a look at the transmission, see if the transmission's reusable, then go about finding another engine for it. Also going to jack it up and roll the 3-foot gauge wheel sets out, send those out to have them converted to 2-foot gauge, and while the wheels are out, we'll be getting the drivetrain ready to go. And then once the wheels come back in, we'll put the wheels back underneath it and then try to get it over on the track somehow. We may put the track down to get it under the crane and pick it up with the crane and then set it over. Not quite sure how we're going to do that yet, but we'll figure it out when we get to that point. So far so good on the unloading. Doing it pretty slow, just bringing it down without no jerky actions or anything. Just make sure that this thing doesn't take off. Because if it does take off, it wipe out the welder and the oil tank and then go through the fence, and then next thing you know, it's downtown Youngstown. Okay, here's the engine and transmission out of the Brookville, and I haven't dug into the engine yet, but it doesn't look good. The intake is full of sand, and it was under that hole in the hood, so I imagine a lot of water gone in there over the years. And also there's that plug has been missing forever. So I don't hold up too much hope for that thing. However, so anyways, we come over here to the stripped down locomotive. The rear end there, that turns all right. And so I don't think there's going to be any problems back there. Clean it up, change oil in there, I should be fine. Here's the the rest of the, so you got a main frame that runs around on the outside, and you have these two pieces of 6-inch channel, which is the subframe. And one issue we have is that to convert this to 24-inch gauge, those wheels have to go in 6 inches. Well, when that happens, you're going to run right into the subframe. So there's maybe a couple options that I can do. Another issue is, spring hangers and all that. I mean, this thing is so simply built that it won't be that difficult to re-engineer some of this stuff so that, motor mounts can be moved and to make room for the wheels. So I haven't quite figured out exactly how we're doing this yet, but I'm sure we'll get it figured out. I think I'm going to take the cab off and get it down to just basically a flat car, and then jack it up and get the wheel sets out and get those pushed in. One other thing that we've got to do, and if you can see let's see, this sprocket here, and then there's another sprocket on the outside. Those connect to two axles, and then you got the two sprockets there that come down from the final drive. Well, those two sprockets are in a good location that can push the wheels in and have no trouble, but these outer ones are going to be in the way. So once I push the wheels in, I think we're going to take those sprockets out. We're going to put them on the outside of these wheels here, and so they'll actually be down between the wheel and the bearings, since there'll be more room out there for that. So that'll have to be done at some point. Of course, these wheel sets, you know, the wheels have to be pressed off, the sprockets taken off, and then see if there's enough meat in this axle that we can, you know, machine down and then push that wheel in to where we need it. So I won't know that until we actually get the wheels out from under this, which is going to happen pretty soon.